everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this...
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Quentin Coples in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. A big play there. 28 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. They go play action here on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. Looking to throw. And it's caught. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And some space here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And a solid run down inside the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
And this is Parker, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. He'll look to throw. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tank.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 22-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the... tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go now.
He'll drop to throw. And Stills over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Ford. And he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here comes Kansas City.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. Throwing on 2nd, and it's caught. Kobe Flainer. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out come the Dolphins now.
The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
A good pickup there at 22.
Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
It's complete to Parker, left side. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That goes for a gain of 31. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it?
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Come on now. 3-19.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with third down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
So on 4th down, Andy Reid decides to send in the field goal unit. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up a throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. D. Ford in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here we go now.
They'll run here with Mixon, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 23. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Drake. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll buy some time right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, 1st down.
Set. 3-19. Over.
Back to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Back to throw. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A fresh set of downs, and they're at the 1. 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Green 39. Green 39.
Mixon, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So we've reached halftime here. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set to go again on offense, here's Devontae Parker now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Dolphins on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo to Mixon on the check down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Mixon powers through, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. 1st and 15 here behind the chains.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they run with Mixon. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Dumps it off to Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from a long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Really solid effort for him right now. Third quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here? That
remains to be seen, but I know one thing, you and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, but often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll run with Drake, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Looking to throw. And this is Parker, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. We're back now in KC. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Here we go. 3-19.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Yeah, he spots Henderson open left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. All right, so let's look at these numbers. I don't want to read the tea leaves here too much, but maybe he's in his own head a little bit after that hot start and the cool-off.
Sometimes that happens, and this is where you get tested as a player in this league if you truly want to be an impact player or a star, because that's what they're going to face each and every game. Extra coverage, extra people. So now, do you fight through it? Do you find other ways? Or do you allow it to affect you to the point where you're no longer an impact on the game?
Now back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Dolphins on third down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll set up to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You can got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on second down and 3.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watch it now, Barney.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Detroit!
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe to be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he finds his man. It's Duarte. And he's going to be marked down deep into Kansas City territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And now here comes Kansas City. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They run a draw here on 2nd down, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Well, I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's complete to Parker, left side. Give him 30 yards there.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. A big offense.